Hey guys, what's up? I'm back with another video. If it's your first time watching Bradley Party of 6, make sure you go ahead and click that subscribe button and also click the little notification bell and follow us on Instagram at Bradley Party of 6. Okay? All right. Today because I have gotten so many questions. You guys seem to have loved my breastfeeding videos. I did 2 of them, so I'll make sure they are linked in this video as well as down below. I did 2 breastfeeding videos for you guys, well, pumping videos, where I showed you guys my schedule, how I pumped. I exclusively pumped, for those of you who didn't know, and I would definitely recommend you checking out those videos if you're planning on exclusively pumping, or if you're exclusively pumping now and just want some tips. I had a tremendous oversupply. I am now done pumping, and I've been done pumping for over a month, and MJ probably still has maybe another month and a half worth of milk. So I'm very excited about that. The only reason I stopped pumping was because I got tired of it. Pumping is hard work. It's a job. Breastfeeding in general, it's a job. I mean, your baby's total food supply is relying on you. And so it's a job that no one else can do in the family, you know what I'm saying? So it's sometimes it can get really stressful. And so I was just tired of being strapped to the pump, even though I did have my wireless pumps, which were awesome, but I was just tired of being strapped to the pumps. So I quit. However, I did go for 6 months, and I'm very proud of myself for making it that long, because I definitely didn't make it that long with my other 2 kids. So if you want to know the backstory and all of that, just make sure you check out those videos. So today we're talking about how I weaned. I didn't just wake up one day, go, I quit, and never pump again. That's not how this works. And if you're expecting that that's how this works, you're going to be thoroughly disappointed, honey, and you could probably end up with some infections. Okay, so first off, let me tell you guys, I am not a medical professional. I'm not a pumping expert. Okay, I'm just telling you what I did and what worked for me. So I have 5 tips for you guys today that will hopefully help you out and make weaning a little easier. I started weaning 1 to 2 months before I actually quit. I kind of knew when my breaking point was going to be and that my breaking point was coming up. So I started to try to slowly wean myself off, and I finished pumping mid-October. I started that weaning process probably in late August, to be quite honest. And I'll let you guys know what I did when I started. That's part of my tips, but yeah, you have to start pretty early. Like I said, you can't just wake up one day and go, I quit, and never pump again. Just doesn't work that way. So my first tip is to shorten each pump session by a few minutes and also spread them further apart. So let's talk about part 1. Shorten each pump session by a few minutes. So that means if you are pumping each session for 20 minutes, then you'll want to shorten it now and maybe pump for only 17 minutes. You know what I'm saying? If you're pumping for 17 minutes, maybe take it down and shorten it to about 14 minutes. So I took my pump sessions down weekly, yes. Every single week I would take them down by a few minutes. So I was pumping sometimes for 20 to 25 minutes. That was where I was when I was at my max milk production, and then I started to take it down by 2 to 3 minutes every week until I got down to about 10 minutes. You also want to spread your pump sessions further apart. So I was pumping every 3 to 4 hours. I would start to spread it out to 4.5 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, whatever I could stand, because if you pumped or breastfed, you know you can get very uncomfortable very fast. So whatever you can stand. You don't want to go too long because you don't want to get mastitis, which is an infection. You don't want to, you don't want to go through any of that. So I've heard that is very painful. I have not had it, but I've heard that is very painful, and the easiest way to get it is not relieving yourself when you need to. So don't go from 0 to 60. Take it slow and spread them out maybe 30 minutes. Spread it out then an hour, then go to an hour and a half more. So whatever you can stand. Again, I was pumping every 3 to 4 hours. I started going 5 hours, then I would go to 6 hours. I got to 8 or 9 hours. I would get to only pumping twice a day, so like 12 hours. Then we got down to once a day. So that is how the milk just gradually starts to taper off. As you guys probably already know, the frequency at which you pump tells your body how much milk to make. So if you're pumping a lot a day, most likely you're gonna get a lot more milk than if you're pumping only once or twice a day. So once you start to take it down, your body's like, oh, you don't need that much milk. And your body's going to take it down with you. Now, tip number 2, it kind of goes with tip number 1. You want to start dropping pump sessions every 1 to 2 weeks. So if you're pumping 8 times a day, drop it down to 7. If you're pumping 6 times a day, drop it down to 5 a day. And you want to, and that's going to go with spreading those pump sessions further. They're going to kind of run into each other, and you're going to realize that you're dropping those sessions as you're spreading them further. My third tip is to pump for relief if you need it. If it gets too painful or too uncomfortable, you do not want to just let it sit there and go, oh my God, I'm supposed to be dropping a session, but this hurts so bad. Why would you do that to yourself? Pump for relief then. So that means if you're pumping maybe 15 minutes, if you're at the 15-minute stage, then this time only pump for relief. Pump until it doesn't hurt anymore. So maybe that's 5 minutes. Maybe that's only 10 minutes. But don't pump the entire 15 minutes. Just get what you need to get out of you. Again, you can definitely catch mastitis if you don't, and I've heard some bad stories. So just make sure you are taking care of yourself and not trying to rush the process. Fourth tip, you will leak. Be prepared for that. You're going to leak. I'm still leaking. I've been done pumping for over a month and I am still leaking, all right? So, I mean, I wake up sometimes, and sometimes maybe it's just a couple of drops. Sometimes it is quite a lot of milk, and so I don't feel like anything is left. Like, I feel like if I would have pumped, there'd probably be nothing left, but every so often milk gets produced and it does come out. So if you're going somewhere, like going to work or something like that, maybe you want to wear some nipple pads in your bras for the first, especially for the first couple of weeks. I don't wear nipple pads in my bras anymore. However, at night, I probably could go for wearing some. I don't, but I probably could because I definitely leak. A lot of times when the baby cries, I leak. When maybe if I pick the baby up in the middle of the night, if he starts crying, I leak. And sometimes just when I get out of the shower, I think that pressure of the water hitting like right here, I think that that's kind of like getting my ducts, you know, getting my ducts together, and they like want to produce milk. So I'll leak sometimes right after I get out of the shower. So just be prepared for that. Once you're done pumping, doesn't mean you're just all of a sudden not gonna leak. The milk is gone, dried up, done. No. You will probably still leak for a while. I think last time I leaked for about 6 months. So that's what I'm anticipating this time. And my last tip for you guys is just to be patient. It is a process, quite a long one sometimes, depending on how your milk production was. So you just want to be patient. I ended up, when I was done pumping, we had over 400 bags of milk in the freezer. And so, like I told you, I had severe oversupply. Like, my baby was fed a lot throughout the day, and then on top of that, I had 400 frozen bags. My baby was on full breast milk until he was 6 months, and that's about when I quit, a little bit before 6 months. So we still have about almost 2 months worth of milk probably. But in producing that much milk, you have to think there's going to be leaks. Like, again, the milk's just not gonna stop one day. It'll stop one day, but not right after you finish pumping. But that is it, you guys. Those are all of my weaning tips. Those are what I did to make sure that I not only weaned, but weaned safely. If you guys have any other tips that maybe I didn't mention, drop them down below in the comment section. Help a mama out. If you have any other tips, I'm sure someone would appreciate them. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope all of my breastfeeding tips, my pumping tips, my weaning tips, I hope they were all super helpful for you. Good luck on all of your journeys. I love you, and we'll talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.